And welcome to some more SoulSilver. So, you know how I said I was gonna catch the fucking legendary birds? What? Yeah, about the legendary birds. So, I actually tried recording this part previously, and needless to say, I have ultimately decided against catching the legendary birds. So, yeah, needless to say, I've decided against catching the legendary birds. I'm better off just doing them off screen. So yeah, needless to say, I'm better off just catching the legendary birds off screen. Because, yeah, it turns out catching legendaries is absolute hell. It turns out. So yeah, also, apparently I found out there are 2 more rival battles that we can do. But I'll save those for after I catch Suicune and Ho-Oh. Since I won't be catching the legendary birds, which puts less stress off of me. Also, for the final part of SoulSilver, I'm actually going to give the final part of SoulSilver a fully custom thumbnail for that special occasion. So, there's that. So, what am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? So yeah, so my reason for deciding against catching the legendary birds was because the last time I tried to record this part, yeah, turns out I had a hard time. And tried to catch Suicune to the point where the part was lasting over an hour. Well, here's Suicune. I am no match for you. As predicted. Go ahead. Since you met in the Burned Tower at Ukritique City, I've sort of known that Suicune would choose you. Take a look at it. Suicune is waiting for you. It has been waiting for a battle with a worthy trainer to whom it can entrust itself. Good shit there. Now, luckily, during that failed attempt, I put a little save state over here, so that way, if we fail, we can always just try again. I came prepared this time, unlike with the Lugia encounter. Here's Suicune, level 40. And goddamn, I am overpowered as shit. Let's... And of course I fucking miss. Wonderful start. That's not a good sign. Much like all the other legendaries, Suicune has pressure, meaning you'll consume more of your energy. I guess while I'm here trying to catch Suicune and failing miserably. Holy shit, he's in the red. So the reason why I chose to get both net balls and dusk balls is because, well, since we're doing this at night, the dusk ball should perform better. And as you can guess, it does not. The net ball, however, is another one of these specialty balls, much like the dusk balls, where the net ball basically specializes in catching Pokemon of either water or bug types. Guess which type Suicune is. If you guess water, you're correct. Look at that. Oh boy. Look at that. Just a fucking sliver. Okay. That should theoretically be enough. Let's see. Oh my fucking god. Yeah. So yeah, that's ultimately the reason why I chose against catching the legendary birds, because I personally just don't want all of you to like see me fumble with that. I'd rather just catch the legendary birds off screen and save time in that regard. Come on. I guess while I'm here, I might as well talk about the wider creature collecting genre. So, for those wondering what my stance on the creature collecting genre is, I do think the creature collecting genre has a lot of potential, but unfortunately, because Pokemon's been dominant for so long, I do think a big issue that I have with the creature collecting genre is that's more so with the indie scene, not really so much with like bigger titles, but specifically with indie titles. It's that because Pokemon's been so dominant for so long, whenever indie devs create a creature collecting game, all they know is Pokemon. God damn it. Fucking hell, just stay in the fucking ball, Suicune. Now would be a good time to mention that my content is not made for kids because of the fucking vulgarity that my channel is known for using. So, fuck. There you go. That's your only warning. So my big issue with the creature collecting genre is that I find that, again, because Pokemon's been so dominant, it seems like Pokemon is the only thing people can know of when they think of the creature collecting genre. And because of that, yeah, I didn't figure that wouldn't work. And because of that whenever indie devs create a creature collecting game, they often just default to just Pokemon but this. I've noticed this a lot when it comes to games like, say, Nexomon Extinction, which is a damn good game, but my biggest gripe with it is that it plays too similarly to Pokemon. Like, it doesn't do enough to distinguish itself from a gameplay standpoint. You compare this to something outside of the indie scene, like, say, the Digimon Cyber Sleuth games, or even World of Final Fantasy, which feel far more unique compared to, like, most of the indie creature collecting games. Not just from a visual standpoint or a story standpoint, but also from a gameplay standpoint. which really shows that when it comes to turn-based RPGs, like, it doesn't matter if your RPG is turn-based, you can still do quite a bit with it in order to make it distinct. See Breath of Fire 3 and 4 as an example. Especially Breath of Fire 4 with the combo system. Now, so back to indie creature collecting games. And I've definitely noticed this a lot. How, when it comes to indie creature collecting games, they more often than not just tend to be which doesn't help when it comes to the creature collecting genre trying to shake off the stigma that basically every creature collecting game is trying to be like Pokemon, when time and time again you have evidence to the contrary. But usually said evidence to the contrary are not from the indie scene. And I do think that is a big problem. I do think if the creature collecting genre wants to distinguish itself from the franchise people compare to, and keep in mind, this has come from somebody who is a Digimon fan primarily. I do not like Pokemon at all. Like, aside from 3 games, one of which being the game that you're watching right now. Now, I honestly don't really like Pokemon, like, at all. Aside from, again, said 3 games. Those games being the one that you're watching right now, Black and White, and Black 2 and White 2. Hence why I chose those games to do playthroughs for the channel. And I'll get into this later on, but I honestly do think that if the creature collecting genre wants to shake off the stigmas that it has, it needs to distance itself from Pokemon. Pokemon is what I'd consider a liability. A liability that is more of a hindrance rather than a benefit. Plus, Pokemon is not even a good franchise. There are plenty of other objectively better franchises to take cues from. I do think indie devs need to look at other genres, like for example, the first-person shooter genre and the platform fighter genre, to see what games from those genres eventually did to distinguish itself from the most popular title of that genre. For example, prior to games like Halo, which were more narrative focused, most first-person shooters, including ones by id Software, were called Doom clones, because the most popular first-person shooter game at the time was Doom. But once games like Halo and what was the name of the other one? But yeah, games like Halo came about, people began to realize, wait a minute, we need to give this genre a proper name. So, first-person shooter became the title for the genre. You're playing it from a first-person perspective, and you got a thing that goes pew-pew, because America. And then, of course, you have the subgenres such as third-person shooters, i.e. games like Gears of War or Splatoon, which basically are the same thing as first-person shooters, except with a third-person perspective rather than first-person. See Resident Evil 4. Another example being the platform fighter genre, in which the platform fighter genre, for the longest time, a lot of platform fighters that exist were simply referred to as Smash clones, even if the game itself is radically different from Smash in virtually every regard, i.e. PlayStation All-Stars, and even my own favorite video game, Digimon Rumble Arena 2. It wasn't until the likes of Rivals of Aether showed, as much as I don't like Rivals of Aether, it wasn't until games like Rivals of Aether showed that the platform fighter genre isn't just Smash but this, it's something more than that. And I do think the creature collecting game needs something like Halo, like Rivals of Aether, something that would cause people to realize that creature collecting games are not that creature collecting games can be more than just Pokemon, but this, that the creature collecting genre can be something greater. And every time I look at indie creature collecting games, I often see that potential just wasted. Which is, ironically enough, a criticism I give towards the Pokemon series, that Pokemon has a lot of good ideas, but because of capitalism being capitalism, and the constant need to pump out games and content year after year instead of just focusing on making one solid game and, fleshing it out. It leads to why I think Pokemon just isn't all that great of a franchise compared to what we thought it was. And keep in mind, this is coming from somebody who isn't even a fan of the series. So if I'm saying this, that should say something. That should definitely say something. So that's really where my gripe with the creature collecting genre is. It is a shame too, because I do think creature collecting as a concept is an idea that has a lot of potential, even when you look outside of the video games. When you look at series like Bakugan, for example. Y'all remember Bakugan? Or look at the creature collecting genre in other mediums outside of video games. They're able to do things that, sure, are exclusive to that medium, but some of them are like, why can't the video games that are made by indie devs do this? Like, what's stopping indie devs from realizing the creature collecting genre's full potential? What's holding them back? Slowing the genre down, preventing it from evolving. And I do think the fact that Pokemon has been dominant for so long does play a big factor into that. God fucking damn it. Fucking hell, Suicune, just stay in the fucking ball. But yeah, in other words, my advice to indie devs would be, if you're gonna create a creature collecting game, distance yourself from Pokemon. Because if you ask me, Pokemon is a liability. It is a hindrance rather than a benefit. Fuck it, humor me. Fuck you, Suicune. Something tells me I'm gonna have to mulligan. Yeah, something tells me I'm gonna have to mulligan. Hey, on the subject of Pokemon, for those who came to my channel for the Pokemon content, first of all, welcome. And secondly, I got some bad news for those people. While the SoulSilver playthrough, as you can tell by the time of this upload, isn't over yet, but there won't be any more Pokemon playthroughs for much longer. Once SoulSilver is done, the next two, that will only leave me with 2 other Pokemon games left. And once those 2 games are done, that's it. No more Pokemon. So for those who only want Pokemon content from me, I'm sorry, but that's not the kind of content creator I am. You look at each of my content and you'll notice that I'm more of a variety kind of player. How I tend to play games that interest me rather than what's popular. It's the reason why you won't see me play something like crap. What's popular at the moment? Something like fucking whatever Call of Duty game is out. There's a reason why you won't see me play those, because that simply doesn't interest me, like, at all. In fact, a good chunk of popular games tend to not interest me. Like, if you've paid close attention to the kind of content, the kind of games I do prefer, usually there's a few traits that each game has in common, and usually there's something about the game that holds my attention. Yep, we're mulliganing. Let's try again. One of the perks of playing this on emulator. So yeah, like, while I will be doing content outside of Pokemon, I do hope that people who discovered my channel through Pokemon will at least stick around for, like, the content that isn't Pokemon. Oh, this is gonna fucking sting. So yeah, I do hope that God damn it. I do hope that people who discover my content through Pokemon will, like, be willing on checking out the other playthroughs. God fucking damn it. Please, Suicune, just stay in the fucking ball. Now he ain't gonna stay in the ball. So yeah, like I said, I only have 3 Pokemon playthroughs planned, this one being one of them. the other two being Pokemon White and Pokemon Black 2. Note how I said Pokemon White and not White 2. The reason for this is because White has Zekrom and so does Black 2. As such, personally, I tend to consider Black 2 more of a sequel to Pokemon White, considering Zekrom is in both. Same. What the hell? Same goes for what the fuck? Same goes for Pokemon Black and Pokemon White 2. How I consider Pokemon White 2 more of a sequel to Pokemon Black, considering Reshurams in both. Fucking hell, Suicune, just stay in the goddamn ball. So, yeah, once Pokemon Black 2 is done, that'll be it. No more Pokemon playthroughs. Oh my god. I am slowly turning into a goddamn wombat. Or maybe a wallaby. Holy shit. Fuck. So yeah, so for those who came to this channel for the Pokemon content, don't get used to the Pokemon content. If you are looking for something adjacent on this channel, there is the Digimon World Dawn playthrough, which, by the way, there is no commentary on that one. There's also the Fossil Fighters playthrough, which, again, there's also no commentary on that one either. So yeah, I also intend on doing a holy shit. And this is why you stick with the physical copy. Anyway, so yeah, so I do intend on doing a playthrough of Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory, but first I would like to redo the first Cyber Sleuth, since I'm not a fan how that old playthrough turned out. Like, that playthrough reeks of this channel was made by a fucking depressed 16-year-old. Like, it fucking reeks of that. So, I would like to redo the Cyber Sleuth playthrough. But in terms of current playthroughs, I am currently doing Ori and the Will of the Wisp, as you noticed. And afterwards, I will be wrapping up the Spyro Reignited trilogy with Spyro 3, which I am dreading. I'll be honest, Spyro 3 is my least favorite of the trilogy, Spyro 2 being my favorite. Like, the best way I could describe Spyro 3 is that Spyro 3 is Spyro 2, but with a bunch of added gimmicks. Okay, so in terms of just playing Spyro 3 from beginning to end, sure, Spyro 3 is enjoyable. My issue with Spyro 3 comes in the form of 100% completion, as in when you're going after everything. That's where Spyro 3 drives me up a fucking wall. So there's that. So there's that. So yeah, I also intend on doing Digimon World Dusk at some point. Ay, ay, ay. Just stay in the fucking ball. I really don't want this part to be over an hour long. So just stay in the fucking ball, Suicune. This is why this style of catching monsters fucking sucks. Shit like this is why Pokemon sucks. Something tells me we're due for another mulligan. And this is why I decided against catching the legendary birds. This is why I decided against it. And by the way, for those wondering, I've played other creature collecting games that don't have shit like this to worry about. So for those wondering why I'm always so harsh on the Pokemon series, there's a lot of bullshit mechanics in Pokemon that makes you wonder what the hell were the developers thinking. It really makes you question if Pokemon is as good as people think it is, or if it's just, well, nostalgia bias and popularity bias. So like I always say, just because something is popular doesn't automatically mean it's good. Because fuck the status quo. Hey. By the way, this is also the reason why I won't do the fucking roaming legendaries. I caught Raikou and Entei once on my original No SoulSilver and never again. Fuck that. In fact, funnily enough, I actually found out a little something about Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. Is that, turns out Black 2 and White 2 are the only mainline Pokemon games to not have roaming legendaries. That by default makes them the best in the series. At this point, I'm better off just catching Suicune and Ho-Oh off screen, just showing where they are and just catching them off screen. Oof. Yeah, something tells me I'm better off just showing where the legendaries are and just catching them off screen. Yeah, like... Finally! Fuck you, Suicune! Fuck you! Fuck this franchise! Fuck Pokemon. Fuck this fucking franchise. Give me Digimon over this any day. Hey, so that's Suicune. I bet it was intense. Fuck you. Fuck you, S-Wing. Take your pompadour and fuck off. Hey, so yeah, that's Suicune down. Almost didn't take me a fucking hour this time around, thankfully. But yeah, so that's Suicune. That just leaves fucking Ho-Oh. Next. Again, I've decided against catching the legendary birds. I'll probably just show you where they are. Fuck this, I am saving. I am saving because there's no way in hell I'm losing fucking Suicune to that shit. Let me just reset. So yeah, we did it. We caught Suicune. Let's take a good look at this prick. There's the little shit. He's a fucking lax nature. What the hell? Hey. So yeah, that is Suicune. If you enjoy, feel free to do the usual YouTube shit. Feel free to like and subscribe, and while you're at it, check out my non-gaming, non-Pokemon related stuff in the description below. Until then, see you all another time. Bye.